Hi everybody, it's Kerrie here at the North East Autism Society and it's our Back to School Week series. I'm joined today by Marianne Allen, who is a head teacher, and she's just popped online just to give us a little bit of information about returning to school. So hi Marianne, are you okay?
Hi Kerrie.
Would you mind just introducing yourself, Marianne, and telling us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, of course. I'm Marianne Allen. I'm a head teacher in a primary school in Northumberland. It's a mainstream primary school. We've got a lot of pupils with special educational needs and educational health and care plans. I'm also chair of governors of a special school in North Tyneside, and I'm also the parent of 2 children with additional needs.
Brilliant. So I suppose the first question for you, Marianne, is what have you been doing at your school in order to prepare children who are autistic or have SEN? What have you done to prepare them for the return to school?
The thing we've done first is we've done lots of communication, because I think there's a lot of anxious parents out there, a lot of anxious children. It's been a long time since a lot of our children have been in school. I know personally for me, my boys have found it really difficult and there's anxieties going back. So I think we've kept that communication going all the way, either through updates with emails, phone calls, even when it's been the summer, even video chats with some children. We've also done lots of kind of sharing photographs of what things look like. We made a little profile for each child of who their teacher would be, what the classroom would look like, all of the kind of social stories. We shared some of your resources with them. What we've also done with some individual children, I offered all parents with children with special education needs, if they would like to bring their child in for a visit, because I think it's a bit optimistic thinking that next week we're going to open them doors, and with all these measures in place where we're expecting children just to walk in without a parent, it's going to be really, really challenging, not just for the children, but I think for the parents. Some of our children go on school transport. That's a big change. So what we've done this week is I opened up a week earlier. So we've been in school this week, and we prioritised our nursery children first, and we brought them in ready for reception. And I organise visits between parents and children. We've got some more to do with the beginning of next week, where the child can come in with their parent if they want to, or on their own. They will meet their teacher, they'll walk around school, they can talk through any of the plans or worries. Some parents have done that this week and feel like their child needs another one next week, so we'll do that again. And then on Tuesday, we'll kind of share a video of like us kind of saying, we're in school, this is what it looks like. Just to ease that. A couple of parents have contacted me and said, what's going to happen if they're crying or they're upset? Well, I think we've got to use a bit of common sense there, and we've got to bring them in with the parent. I think, I know it's a different world we're living in, but I know that it's going to be really difficult. I think once children are back, it'll be fine. I mean, the kids we've had in have been wonderful. The parents have been really grateful of that. So the main thing, I think, is kind of making things seem normal, and just sharing reminders of what things will look like, and actually how it's still very like it was before. And just that kind of preparation, and not assuming that it'll just be okay on the day, putting all that preparation in first.
Yeah, that's the key, isn't it? I mean, what do you foresee as some of the biggest challenges for our autistic children, Marianne?
I think masks. It does worry me, this new guidance yesterday about secondary children having to wear masks. I worry that in secondary schools, there are some children, we know lots of our children are exempt from wearing masks, but I worry that in a big setting, when all teachers don't know how enforceable are those rules going to be, are our young people going to be asked why you not got your mask on, why they shouldn't need to wear their lanyards and things, they don't need to draw attention to that. So I do worry a little bit about that, and how that's going to be in primary school. We've kind of made the decision that we're not wearing masks. If staff want to, that's their choice, but I've also said if they want to, they need to tell me that so I can prepare the children for that. And we've all decided we're not, unless we're kind of dealing with a child in intimate care and things like that, but that's general practice anyway. I worry about the social distancing. A lot of our children need particularly secondary, again, I think this is more of a challenge, that a lot of our children need one-to-one, and I know lots of the schools are doing one-to-one at 1 metre. Some of our children need that hands-on, they need that deep pressure hug, they need that kind of side-by-side check-in. So I think that's going to be a bit of a challenge in how children adapt to that. I think I think some things are a positive thing. So like keeping groups together for older children, at least it gets rid of the anxiety of being around huge crowds and older children. So that's a positive. But I think school transport will be different. I think they'll be on that transport with different children who they were before the summer, because some of the information is that children should stay in the transport with who they're in the class with. Well, I know for my youngest son that hasn't been the case. They might be on transport longer because there will be greater distances, because they're not doing it on geography, they're doing it on groups of children. So I think it's going to be one of those things until we're back. Yeah. We're not going to know. And one of the big challenges for me is a lot of the guidance states that children, if you show symptoms, you've got to have a test. Now, I don't know how other parents and other schools feel, but that test's very invasive. Yeah. And I feel for a lot of our young people and children, and I'm speaking myself personally with my children, I know my youngest son could not have that test. Mm-hmm. So does that mean he's automatically out of school for 14 days? Because there's no way I'm going to put him through a procedure that's going to cause distress. Yeah. So I think we're going to have to be careful, because children have been off school for so long. They're going to get coughs, they're going to get sneezes, they're going to get general childhood illnesses. And we're going to have to be cautious that we're not all of a sudden thinking, oh, they've got the virus, and being over cautiously sending children home.
Of course, yeah. And Marianne, what will be the focus really in school? Because obviously emotional well-being comes first. So will there be more of an emphasis on that rather than academics and the curriculum?
I think that's going to depend on each individual school, Kerrie, but the guidance kind of states that you should reinstate your curriculum. Right. But what we found, bringing these children back this week, what we found is they've loved being back in school, but the children were very quiet, a lot more quiet than normal, which was kind of say to me that the emotional well-being, we always know get your emotional well-being and everything else comes afterwards. So for us in my school, it's absolutely create routine, create nurture, build those relationships back up, create a safe and happy environment, and everything else will come. Will they be behind in the maths and English? Maybe, but will we get them back? Yes, we will. So our curriculum is going to focus on getting the children safe and secure, happy, positive, building relationships, being with their friends, developing their language and talk, because a lot of them haven't been around lots of friends and social skills and all that kind of stuff. I know my youngest boy has been desperate to be with his friends, and he's absolutely dependent on me at the moment because he hasn't been with his friends. So I'm not worried about him academically. I'm more worried about actually he needs social interaction and less dependency upon me. Then what we're also going to do a lot of work on is technology, because what we've realised during this gap is we're assuming that these kids can go on a computer. They have a computer. They can access remote learning. We've expected parents for months to become teachers. It's not possible. I think, this kind of thinking, you've got a child at home with additional needs. Some of us have been trying to work alongside that. You're expected to become the parent, the teacher. Some of our children, my own son, is very much home is home and school is school. Trying to get him engaged in learning is really tricky, and I'm a trained teacher. So I think we've got to do more that in the event if schools, and I don't think schools will close again, but in the event children go in isolation or anything like that, local outbreaks, we have to be better equipped to support parents with educating people at home, with less pressure on the parent doing that, more practical things, more easy access to online learning and communication with the actual teacher that they would normally have. So we're really targeting a lot of that to take that pressure off parents having to do our jobs.
I think that's absolutely brilliant, because I've had a lot of families that have been really stressed about the pressure of actually homeschooling. How do they do it? Where do they even begin? And it's a big responsibility, isn't it? And what I was saying to a lot of the families is, back to what we've just been talking about, Marianne, is that, look, emotional well-being comes first. So your children need to feel safe. They need to be happy and secure at home. And actually, that might need to take a back seat. And it's such a big pressure for parents. It really is. So I really like that idea. I think a lot of families will be pleased with that. That's great. So if there's any school teachers watching this video, or school leaders, have you got any tips specifically for them?
Yeah, I think school leaders need to realise that, yes, we've got procedures, yeah, we've got policies, we've got all this guidance. We're going to have to be flexible. We're going to have to be flexible on our expectations. I'm concerned about some of our young people who might have more challenging behaviours. We've got to support that. We've got to put the measures in place to make those children secure in school and learn and develop, and not, you know, and I think school leaders have to adapt those systems and realize that actually these kids need to be back in school. They've probably actually flourished at home, a lot of our young people, because they've been in a safe environment and they haven't had the extra pressures of socially interacting and conforming to rules and things like that. That's going to take time to adjust back to. So the school leaders need to remember what's in that SEND code of practice. Reasonable adjustments are absolutely vital, and if a reasonable adjustment is that a child needs to come in less time when they come back, that's what we need to do. If a child needs a quiet space to go every day, that's what we need to do. If a child needs to come back not wearing their uniform, that's what we need to do. And I think sometimes as school leaders we forget a little bit about reasonable adjustments.
I think that sounds absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Marianne, for coming on. I'm sure a lot of people get a lot from this video. So I'll be thinking about you when all your children start returning. You have to let us know how it goes, and hopefully I'll see you soon. So thanks, everybody. Thanks. Bye.